Krishna everyone, so we are back with Civilization and Transcendence by His Divine Grace, Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupāda. And we're starting the 4th chapter called Caste System, Caste Out. And this is Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host, your humble, aspiring host, Sulalita Devidasi. Aspiring in the sense I'm trying to be a nicer host and not mix up your audio and numbers of the episodes. Very sorry for yesterday. We'll really try to be more attentive and more focused and more careful. Yes, so just interesting. Usually it happens with me when I read something and it really strikes me and it's like, wow, it's incredible. And then I was really touched by how we were reading yesterday, day before, about destiny, about how destiny, material destiny may not be changed, but in spite of your destiny, you just need to try to be Krishna conscious, and then everything will be overcome. And then destiny hits you, and then you become a little bit disturbed, and then you make such silly mistakes in your service as a servant of this podcast. So it's a lesson for me. I will try my best. I will try my very best. So let's dive into the chapter without the further ado. Puṣṭa Kṛṣṇa. Next question, Śrīla Prabhupāda. Quote, will the fundamental values of the Vedic religion be in any way affected by the eradication of the caste system, toward which a concerted effort is now being made at all levels? Śrīla Prabhupāda. The first system of the Vedic system of religion we have been discussing, the varṇāśrama system created by Krishna, is not to be confused with the present-day caste system, determination of social divisions by birth. But as to eradication of all social divisions, it cannot be done. This is still more foolishness, because Kṛṣṇa Himself says, cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭam guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ. Quote, this system of 4 social divisions, according to quality and work, is obtained by me. Unquote. But the difficulty is that this so-called caste system has come in on account of the false notion that in order to be a brāhmaṇa, one must be the son of a brāhmaṇa. That is the caste system. But Krishna does not say that. He says according to quality and work. He never says according to birth. So this so-called caste system in India is a false notion of cātur-varṇyaṁ, the system of 4 social divisions. The real system of cātur-varṇyam means guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ, determination of the 4 social divisions according to quality and work. One must be qualified. Jai. And how does one become qualified? That is also described. Before we go into this, I just really wanted to mention that it is, like Prabhupada says, it's foolishness. It is complete foolishness, because no matter, if we can't say that there will never be anybody who will be a businessman, or say a professor, knowledgeable person, or a manager, administrator, or like a craftsman. So these 4 divisions are naturally there. There's just a complete hodgepodge in how they communicate and interact, and how they are organized, and how they are managed, and how they are not communicating, but collectively collaborating. Yeah, there's a complete chaos in that regard, but there's always 4 different divisions of how nature by nature and quality. We will be diving into this in principle in Bhagavad Gita and then in Srimad Bhagavatam. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. So, And how does one become qualified? That is also described. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes the qualities of a brahmana as follows. Samodamastapa shaucham kshantir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam. Quote, peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. Unquote. So people who want to become brahmanas must be educated to acquire these qualities. It is not enough simply to abolish the caste system, which is contaminated by the false notion, false conception of qualification by birthright. Certainly, this wrong caste system should be abolished. Also, educational centers should be opened for teaching people how to become genuine brahmanas and kshatriyas, guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ, according to their qualities and work. People naturally belong to different social groupings, so you cannot avoid it. But because you have created a false caste system, that should be abolished. And the system recommended by Krishna, that should be adopted. In any event, you cannot avoid the natural occurrence of various social divisions. Nature's caste system will remain. Take, for example, the Brahminical quality of truthfulness. All over the world, wherever you go, you'll find at least one person who is truthful. Does anyone say, oh, his father was truthful, therefore he is truthful? This is nonsense. Krishna never says anything like that. The father may be Hiranyakashipu, a big demon, but his son can still be Prahlada, a great devotee of the Lord. It is not that one will inevitably become exactly like one's father. Of course, it may be. There is every possibility. But still, it is not a fact that the son unavoidably becomes like the father. Our point is, wherever you go, you'll find a first-class man who is truthful. Now, wherever you find a truthful man, you can classify. You can classify him as a brahmana and train him to serve the social body in that capacity as a spiritual teacher and advisor. That is wanted. Why assume here is the son of a truthful man, therefore he is truthful, a brahmana? That is a misconception. You have to find the truthful man all over the world and train them as brahmanas. That we are doing. Quote, if you follow these principles, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, you are a brahmana. Come on and receive further training. Unquote. 1 second. The fellow's father may be a meat eater, or a gambler, or a drunkard, but if he himself is truthful and agreeable to the Brahminical life, then tell him, all right, come on, you are welcome. Then everything will be all right. You could not abolish the truthful class of men even if you wanted to. You'll find truthful men everywhere. You simply have to train them. So, Krishna says, cātur-varṇyaṁ mayā sṛṣṭam guṇa-karma-vibhāgaśaḥ. According to their qualities and work, you take some men and put them in the Brahminical class, others in the Kshatriya class, still others in the Vaishya class, and the rest in the Shudra class. But you cannot abolish that system. That is a false attempt. Puṣṭa Kṛṣṇa. You're saying the natural system is to classify a person and train him for a particular duty, according to his particular inner qualities and his particular propensity to act. Śrīla Prabhupāda. Yes, that classification is wanted. That must be there. Puṣṭa Kṛṣṇa. And what will be the benefit of classifying and training people according to their own qualities and propensities? Śrīla Prabhupāda. The benefit will be that the whole society, the whole social body will function harmoniously. The social body must have a brain and arms and a belly and legs to be complete. If there is no brain, no head, then what is the use of the arms and legs and belly? It is all dead. So, in human society, if there is not a class of learned, truthful and honest man with all the Brahminical qualifications, then society is ruined. That is why people are perplexed. Today almost everyone is trained to be a Shudra, a laborer. Quote, go to the factory, unquote. That's all. Quote, go to the factory and get money, unquote. And when the man gets some money, he immediately purchases wine and women. So if you try to make society classless, you'll produce such men, useless men, disturbing the social body. Disturbance to the social body. You cannot make society classless. If you try to make it classless, naturally people will all be Shudras, fourth-class men, and worse. Then there will be social chaos. Puṣṭa Kṛṣṇa. But can all people take an equal interest in religion despite their belonging to different social classifications? Śrīla Prabhupāda. Yes, that I have already explained, that any civilized human being, he has got some religion. Now the basic principles of religion are the statements made by God. So here in the Vedic system is what God says. If you take to this system, then the social body will be perfect. Not only for Hindus, but also for Christians, for Mohammedans, for everyone. And that is being practically realized in our Krishna consciousness movement. We have got devotees from all groups of human society, and they are taking to this Vedic system. It is practical. There is no difficulty. So Hindus, Muslims, Christians, everyone should take to this Krishna religion and become Krishnites, Krishnians, laughter. The Greek word Christo comes from the Sanskrit Krishna. In fact, another spelling of Krishna is Krishta. So actually, if we take to the root meaning Christian, means Christian, Krishnian. So that is a controversial point, but everyone can take to Krishna. Then everything will be settled up. Jai, we have completed the 4th chapter. Tomorrow we shall continue with the next chapter, entitled Eternal Truths versus Everyday Realities. Jai. Social system. Caste system. Yeah, there is certainly a lot of misconception in the caste system, and people say that it is backward, and it is backward because just because you were born somewhere and many centuries ago your father was a great, say, brāhmaṇa, doesn't mean that many centuries later, when people do whatever they want, for some reason they just have the title brāhmaṇa, or they have a title so-called low caste, and this whole thing, it turned into something completely. So later on, when we will be reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will also hear about how in Bengal, West Bengal, 500 years ago, when Lord Chaitanya came and he was doing his Gaura Lila pastimes, these issues have also been addressed. And how my Guru Maharaj said that in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, you can actually see how Krishna consciousness is really non-sectarian, and like the way that devotees are, how the society of devotees functioned like in Krishna consciousness, despite all the different social roles that everyone played. Like there is one, I'll just share this one thing. There is one pastime how Lord Chaitanya, he gathered all the devotees around him, and he started saying that, like, he called one devotee and he said, your service is to to basically do your business and then donate Lakshmi as much as you can, like for certain temple or like projects for Sankirtan. And then he basically called each devotee, and each devotee was like inspired in his particular function, what he was doing, what was his talent. And Lord Chaitanya encouraged him. It's not like everyone does exactly the same thing. So that's the whole idea, that you can basically, there are 4 divisions in which, like 4 major divisions, but of course within that there are so many different, like brahmanas. Also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada says that brahmanas can be physicians, astrologers, Ayurvedic doctors, like basically historians also. There are kshatriyas, administrators, there is also kings, there is not, so this vaishyas, vaishyas are not only people who are just, doing the trading and business. Vaishyas are mainly like farmers. They're protecting animals, protecting the earth, like produce. So there's so much to it, and it would be fabulous if this particular episode inspires people to read Śrīla Prabhupāda's books. These books that we're reading right now go next. Like there will be Srimad Bhagavatam, there will be Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And just because if you look at the present state of society, like even with this coronavirus, so many doctors are trying to explain to people how the pandemic works, how these viruses work, how it's important to like wash your hands, do the social distancing, but people, they don't understand. So not everybody is exactly the same. Some people just don't understand the gravity of the situation, right? So it's important to listen to those who do understand it. So Hare Krishna. I am, how you say, emotionally connected to this topic, because it's one thing that Śrīla Prabhupāda, he instructed his disciples to do. He said that he did 50% of his mission. He established International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He established many centers around the world. He started this huge movement. But he said that 50% was incomplete because Śrīla Prabhupāda didn't re-establish varṇāśrama dharma. And that means the social system. And it is up to the further generations of devotees to do that. And there is like very little progress made in that direction. And let's hope that all of you got inspired in this way. So caste system, cast out, Haribol. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description, and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.